Hi, everybody. I'm Marc Mason. Some of you may recognize me as a co-host to the television show Apparitions Paranormal, Father and Son Paranormal Investigations. We had Apparitions Paranormal on air on TV for 4 years, and in that 4 years we had a huge following, and I'd like to dedicate this moment to say thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. It really does, because without you, we couldn't do what we did. And also, without the spirits, we couldn't do what we did. So I'd like to thank the spirits. Since they're all around us, they know that I'm thankful for them. But outside of that, for those of you who followed our show, a lot of you were kind of wondering, like, where did Apparitions Paranormal go? Well, let me address that. We had a falling out with our team, indisputable differences in thoughts and opinions on various different things. So it was very sad to see our investigators leave. They were great investigators, and I wish them all the best of luck in their new adventures and their new endeavors. And I would like to personally say that I got no hard feelings against anybody. And to my fans, our fans, not just my fans, our fans, thank you so much for your amazing support that you still continue to give us. And we are actually planning on coming back on air and going back on television. So with that being said, we're kind of currently reformatting, I don't even think that's a word. We're currently reformatting our team, our organization, and we're trying to also get some of the equipment that was damaged during a investigation replaced. So with that being said, and some of you know that this kind of equipment can be very costly sometimes. So it would be really helpful for those of you who do follow us to donate to Apparitions Paranormal. Any dollar amount would be greatly beneficial and helpful, and it would help us get back on air, pay for the airtime on television. It would help us get the camera equipment up to date and get all of our programs back that we lost due to things going wrong in the field with our equipment, and getting, of course, new updated software that no longer plays the video editing software that we used to create our videos and broadcast them on television. So, as you know, Apparitions Paranormal is 100% fully filmed by our members. It's produced by our members. We don't have a professional production company that follows us and takes us around. We don't have professional camera or photographers. So everything we do ourselves. That includes our merchandising line, our advertising, websites, everything. We maintain all of our own. So that's why a donation would be greatly helpful. And we would love if you did that, because that would allow us to give you more content that you love and be able to give to you what you want to see and help offset some of our equipment costs and travel costs and so on and so forth. So now you guys could also donate in the form of buying some of our merchandise or our book, Apparitions Paranormal Ghost Hunting 101, written by me. It teaches you about the ghost hunting equipment, how to become a ghost hunter. It talks about some of the paranormal investigations we've been in, how you should log your evidence, professional investigation skills, and various sorts of other things. It gets into some multiple universe type of theories, and it gets into dream skipping and dream walking and different stuff like that. All part of some of the paranormal processes that we've experienced, or we've investigated, or we've have some type of experience with. So that's in the book. It's a great book for anybody who's interested in becoming a paranormal investigator. So remember, for those of you who would like a copy of the book, there's a description, a link in the comment section, description box below, so you could click on that and it will take you to the book. The other thing is, and as you see, I'm a current Wildland firefighter right now, and my biggest message is our Wildland firefighters put their lives on the line every day, and they do a job that saves lives and property, and it's not always easy. It can be a dangerous job. So you could support wounded and seriously disabled wildland firefighters and their families by also visiting the National Wildland Firefighters Association. So what they do is they work with the wildland firefighting community and the firefighters who've been injured or killed and their families, and help with various aspects of helping firefighters through the hard times, their family through the hard times, help with various resources and different things for these firefighters. So if you want to support your firefighters, you could visit wffoundatation.org. So again, that's wffoundation.org. Please check them out. Now, some of you want to know the history of how Apparitions Paranormal started, because we've never actually told you, and a couple people have asked, and we never really quite said. So we have an interesting story, and that's what this video is mostly about. So I want to get into the story, and I want to tell you how we started as an organization. So back in 2012, me and my wife at the time had separated, and I came from, I left Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is in the northern panhandle of Idaho, and I came to Boise, Idaho, where my father lives, and I was very depressed. Who wouldn't be? They just lost the love of their life, their wife. And so at that time I was going through a lot, and so my dad asked me to drink. Now, I'm not going to pull wool over your eyes and give you a polished story, because this is all about documenting the truth behind Apparitions Paranormal and how we came together. Now, I know that it may sound bad to some people on exactly how it started, just due to the fact that we had did it in a less than, I guess, professional manner, and I'll talk about that as the story progresses. You're going to hear it. So anyways, back in 2012, me and my wife Melissa, we separated, and Apparitions Paranormal wasn't even a thing back then. I wasn't a ghost. I didn't know anything about ghost hunting, except for some of the stuff that I've seen on like Taps with Jason and Grant, on like the Sci-Fi Channel or something, So other than that, I didn't really have knowledge, and I didn't really have anything that would really give me any indication that I was dealing with spirits or anything like that, if I were dealing with spirits. So this was all going to change when I got to Boise. My father, Jeff Mason, is a great guy, and he certified doctor of clinical hypnotherapy, master medical herbalist. He's a survivalist, author, many slew of other things. Very talented, very talented. And he's also the main producer, the head lead producer to Apparitions Paranormal TV show. So what happened was, in 2012, me and my wife left. I left Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I came to Boise, Idaho. And my dad, because I was depressed, he asked me if I wanted to drink. And so we started drinking on the front porch, and one beer led to another, and before you knew it, both him and I, father and son, on the front porch drunk. And he was giving me hugs, telling me, you know, son, I love you. It's going to be okay. You're going to get over it. You know, I know you're heartbroken now, but I promise you, down the road, it's going to get easier for you, and you'll eventually find another lady in your life to, you know, to be part of your life. And during this whole process, we were just chit-chatting, going back and forth. Well, then here's the crazy thing. He says, I know something we could do. He says, I got something that could get your mind off of this. He goes, I got a Ouija board. He goes, I haven't used it yet. And he goes, well, maybe I've used it a few times, but he goes, let's use the Ouija board. So he went and got a Ouija board, and we're drunk, totally drunk. So I play it for the first time, and I was like, didn't really know what to think. I didn't really think it was working very well, and I was just kind of like, what the, you know, is up with this, you know? What a marketing scheme. These guys say you talk to the dead, and yet somebody pushes a planchette around. Dude, these guys are making bank on, like, this genius marketing scheme, you know, and people are thinking they're really talking to the dead. So I kind of mentioned this to my dad. My dad says, well, you know, I was like watching the sci-fi one time, and you know, I bought a basic ghost hunting kit from Taps Paranormal. And I was like, oh yeah? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I never used it before. He goes, I thought about it but never have. So I kind of started getting this idea in my head. I was like, well, we've already used the Ouija board tonight. Well, why not use the ghost hunting box tonight? Walk around the house or walk around the yard and just do it. And then my dad mentions, well, he knows of this really haunted graveyard in Boise. Well, stories about this place are Idaho famous for hauntings, other than the old Idaho State Penitentiary. So this graveyard's the old Boise Fort Military Cemetery. And this cemetery is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, there's nothing around. It sits on a dirt road by itself. The people buried there are the soldiers and the children and the men and women who died from hostile Indians back when Idaho was a territory, and back when Boise originally established as a city. Fort Boise was erected to protect settlers and the people on the settling route from hostile Indians. So these were soldiers from the U.S. Army who fought and died against the Native Americans. So it kind of sparked my interest and thought, oh, I bet yeah, there's some ghosts up there. And my dad was like, yeah. He goes, anyway, he goes, I think I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. And I said, no, you can't do that. We got to go do this. We got to go check this out and see if it really works. And he's like, no, we've been drinking. We're a little drunk. We're a little tipsy. And needless to say, I convinced him to go. So we got in the car, and I don't recommend this to anybody. Please do not drink and drive. We do not endorse drinking and driving. It's extremely dangerous, and you should not do it. Call a taxi or have a designated sober buddy who could take you home, okay? I just want to say that, and I know what we did next is probably frowned upon, but we did drive across town drunk. We drove from his house all the way to Fort Boise Military Cemetery drunk, so drunk. And at first I kind of figured it was like one of these college type of things, you know, like get there, play around with some stuff, have some fun, take some pictures. And I was having fun because it was getting my mind off the fact that me and my wife separated, and I didn't have to worry about it. Dude, I started feeling better. I wasn't crying. I wasn't in this mood of depressed thoughts anymore. Instead, I was more in like, this is kind of creepy, dude. We're in the middle of nowhere in this graveyard. It's pitch black. I could hardly see. We got nothing, man. Like nothing. We just had basic equipment, an EVP recorder, a little 14 megapixel camera from like the Walmart, like cheap end stuff. And, you know, I didn't know what to think at first, but I was enjoying myself. And we got home, my dad and I went to bed. Of course, I woke up to my dad with headphones on, plugged into this EVP recorder, and he's listening to this EVP recorder. He's like, hey son, I think I caught something. Listen to this. Well, there is an electronic voice phenomenon on the recorder. And at first I didn't know what to think. I was kind of like, what? No way. There is no way there is a voice on this tape recorder. No way, absolutely no way. But there was, and it was not his nor mine, and it couldn't have been anybody else's but somebody who was a resident of the graveyard, because there was nobody else there, dude. We were there at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, you know, and we didn't leave until like 1 in the morning or 1:30 in the morning or something. And so I didn't know what to think. Well, we started going over some photos, and we started doing photo analysis, and we found some anomalies on the steel frame photos that we caught. And then we looked at some stuff on video, and we caught something on video. Now, our first video, I wasn't exactly sure what to think that we caught. I thought maybe it was like a bug, and it was like reflecting the light off the shell and back into the lens of the camcorder, and it was nothing really paranormal, but it turned out to actually really be something paranormal, because after analysis and looking at it for a long time and really digging through it and really taking a look at it, we realized that this was no bug. And we went on Facebook and we found different paranormal agency groups in and around our area and out of the area and from all over the world, and sent our video everywhere saying, hey, we caught this, we don't know what it is. It was our very first ever, I guess, investigation, even though it really wasn't. It was just a night that me and my dad went out to go F around and get my mind off the fact that I was going through a divorce and everything else. So at that time, Apparitions Paranormal wasn't formed. So after we got all this stuff back and we started talking to people, my dad decided he was going to put it on his personal Facebook page. So he pasted it to Facebook on his wall, and the next day somebody had actually called my dad on the telephone and said, hey, you guys do paranormal investigations? I think my house is haunted. And my dad looks at me and he goes, do we do paranormal investigations, son? And I said, I don't know, Dad, do we? And my dad goes, well, I don't know, do we, son? And I said, Dad, I don't know, should we? And he goes, I don't know. I said, well, maybe we should. He says, should we? And I said, what the hell? We do paranormal investigations. So my dad types back to this guy and says, yeah, we'll come and do an investigation. We didn't even have a group name. We just went out there with no paranormal association associated with us at all. No agency name. We didn't have anything. We went and did that investigation, and I came home from that, and I got on the computer, so I looked up building websites, and I found all these cool different places where we could put websites. So I chose www.webs.com, where I built my own free website. And I built my website, and my dad and I sat and we played around with different names, and my dad says, oh, I know, Apparitions Paranormal. He goes, we'd be listed the first in the phone book. And that kind of gave us the cutting edge above everybody else in the area, because, you know, if somebody looked us up, we'd be the first they found, alphabetically anyways. So we were like, yeah, that's a great name. And plus it sounded great. It really went together. And then our first slogan was In Dio Confiamos, which is Latin for In God We Trust, which later changed to When the Dead Speak, We Are Listening, which is our official copywritten and trademarked slogan. And Apparitions Paranormal became our agency name. So after that, we started advertising as Apparitions Paranormal. We built the Facebook. I already got the website. I went to a couple places, found where I could make free merchandise. I started making hats and t-shirts to try to promote us and maybe make some money. And of course, you know, very small time, you know, I was really excited about this, because I seen it as, oh my God, I'm no longer a skeptic. This is real. This is the second time I've gone and done something, and I've got something on EVP. I got videos and I got photos. I got to share this to the world, so it became very personal to me, because I knew what I was experiencing was real, and I had to absolutely share it. And my father felt the same way. So a few months go by, and we're making webisodes on YouTube. And I thought, geez, how cool would it be to have a TV show like Taps or Ghost Hunters or Deep South Paranormal or Haunted Collector or one of these other guys, right? So I didn't know anything about TV. But I thought, well, we're already producing, so how hard could this be? This ain't going to be hard at all. Well, I contacted some stations. There was some very big upfront costs, capital that got involved. You know, airing our show was expensive. And I thought, well, okay, we're not going on TV. But then I called KTVB Channel 7 News in Boise, Idaho, because at the time I didn't know they were a news station. I just thought they were a Channel 7. And I thought, well, fuck, I'll just call Channel 7 and I'll see what they say. Well, this lady answers the phone. She was very, very sweet and polite, and she referred me to TVC Channel 11, Public Access TV. So I call Public Access TV, I get involved. Well, it turns out my dad had the same idea that very same day, and he was doing the exact same thing that I was doing, and we were completely unaware that each other's actions. He called them on the phone. I actually drove down there in person and talked to the studio. So one thing led next, and we got our producer's license from the television studio, and licensed and registered with the federal communications guys. So now we were all completely legal, not only with the television station, but now we were legal also as far as our licensing went with the FCC went. So with the FCC and now the TV station, so we started producing videos, still putting them on YouTube, and then airing them on Boise Channel 11 Public Access TV, TVC TV Channel 11. And then that grew. We got on another station, CMTV Channel 14 Spokane, both on satellite and cable. And then we ended up on an airwave television station, Boise TV, 22.3. And then we ended up on a TV station in California, and one in, so it just started to grow, and we just got this momentum going, built up, and we built up a big fan base. But most of our fans came from YouTube, because not very many people actually watch public access. But we were trying to syndicate and get put onto actual real TV, like the History Channel on like Monster Quest, or like Sci-Fi or something. But we wanted to do something big. As we started to grow, we got to know people. We became guest speakers at paranormal speaking events. Then one day we got a phone call from the producer from Sci-Fi Channel, Haunted Collector. Our biggest opportunity. We thought for sure we were going to international, national TV at least, if not international. We were excited, so pumped. Well, it turns out they were just coming to Boise, Idaho. They were looking for some chauffeurs to show them around town and show them the hot spots, the haunted areas, so they could film their TV show here. So we worked out that deal to be their chauffeurs when they came into Boise and started filming TV here in Boise, Idaho. And then we got interviewed by several talk shows. Guy Tao's Music and Muse interviewed us. We were scheduled to get interviewed with George Norrie, Coast to Coast AM, but that ended up getting canceled. But so we started getting all this stuff, and then we started getting interviewed by the news crew and did a Halloween special on the local news, and then we did another special for the Vatican City when the Pope said that they were going to reauthorize exorcism schools all over the world, and they specially interviewed us in the local area as paranormal experts, and we have had actual experiences with real live exorcisms before. I've been on exorcisms. In fact, some of our TV shows have depicted us doing some of the exorcisms. So this is kind of how Apparitions Paranormal started. This is just a brief overview in history. So I just wanted to share that with you, so you kind of know where we came from, how we started, and that we do appreciate your following. We do appreciate the fact that you are loyal, dedicated followers of our particular agency and our productions. So as I said before, we are looking to coming back on air. It'd greatly help if you could donate to Apparitions Paranormal. If you donate to us, it would help us get back on air. Donation money will be going towards not only equipment costs and going back on TV and making webisodes for YouTube and other various video platforms, but ultimately be going towards syndication and paying syndicators to help get us on places like Redbox, get us into places like an actual TV show where we could air our stuff on Sci-Fi or some other television station and whatnot. So there is a future with Apparitions Paranormal. We are coming back. We don't know exactly when we're going to come back yet, but we're in deliberation of that right now. We're in discussions of that right now. We're currently in the process of reforming our organizational structure, and we look forward to coming back and actually giving you, our loyal viewer, more of what you asked for, and giving you the content that you love and that you want to continue to follow. Anyways, everybody have a very happy 4th of July, and we look forward to bringing to the future more episodes that you love. I'm Marc Mason, co-founder, co-owner, president, and co-producer of Apparitions Paranormal.